Okay, guys, well, praise the Lord. It's good to come back to you once again. I'm going to try to make this video as thorough as I can. So please stay with me on this, and I want to do it justice. I'm talking about the United States and Bible prophecy. I believe we're in a window of time. I need to get this out to you so you can begin to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. I'm going to bring it from the Word of God. We know that all these things that have just taken place have happened in a 1 month period. And I am telling you, this month is on God's prophetic timeline. I believe that this month is on God's prophetic timeline. We had an attempted assassination of a previous president, could be former president. We had a president resign, Joe Biden. Now we've had several other people mentioned who could step into this political presidential role. We also had the president of the Secret Service resign and another one appointed. So all these things are happening in a small window of time within a month. So I want to show you prophetically where we are. That's about 1 minute. I want to get started on this. I'm in Daniel 2. Daniel 2, we're talking about one dream, one vision here. It says, Daniel answered the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king has demanded, the wise men, the astrologers, and the magicians, and the soothsayers cannot declare to the king. But there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the last days. So this vision of one individual statue is referring to the last days. So I'm going to take you from this vision, one statue, all the way through to where we are now in the book of Revelation. Listen closely. So he says, you, O king, are watching and beheld a great image. This image, whose splendor was excellent, stood before you, and its form was awesome. This image's head was of fine gold, its chest and arms were silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet of iron, and partly clay. And you watched while a stone was cut out without hands, which struck the image on its feet of iron and clay and broke them into pieces. So we have an image, okay, this statue of an individual. And at the end of this mystery here, it says there will be clay mingled with iron. Clay does not mix with iron. Iron represents the political side that we are looking at, the strength of the political side of the beast. The clay is the religious side, or the mankind, being mingled with mankind. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we look at the one image. I've been studying eschatology for about probably 47 years now, 48 years. When you take the one beast and you add God's perfect number, which is 3, to that, 1 plus 3 equals 4, obviously. So the next beast we're going to look at was 4 parts to this beast, but it's tied together with the same key or secret or hidden thing that unlocks this mystery and ties these visions that Daniel saw together. And it says here, in the first year of Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, and the visions of his head were on his bed. Then he wrote down the dream, telling the main facts. So what he saw, Daniel spoke, saying, I saw in my vision by night. Now Daniel had a vision. There was 4 winds of heaven were stirring up the great sea. The great sea is the body of mankind on the earth. There was 4 great beasts. Remember, one dream plus God's perfect number 3 carries us over prophetically to the next beast, which is composed of 4 beasts. The first was like a lion. The lion was Great Britain. This lion had eagle's wings. The United States is the great eagle. I watched till its wings were plucked off, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand on 2 feet like a man. So that is the eagle representation of the United States. The man part of the United States is Uncle Sam, okay? And the man's heart was given to it. Once again, Uncle Sam. And suddenly there was another beast. The second beast is like a bear. So what animal on the earth, a bear, represents what country? We know today that that would be Russia. When this prophecy was given 2,500 years ago to 3,000 years ago, none of these countries were in existence. So please hear what I'm saying. Please understand that we're in a window of time, unlike any other. So this bear is Russia. Russia is now at war with Ukraine as I am filming this video. So they're on the headlines also. After this, I looked and there was yet another beast, like a bear, like a leopard. The third one was like a leopard. The leopard is Germany. They have leopard tanks. Everything in their government's referring to leopards. If you study Germany, you know their representation, just like Russia is the bear, Germany is the leopard. Then after this, I saw in the night vision, behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong, and it had huge iron teeth. Iron teeth. Iron ties us back to the prophetic revelation that we looked at, Nebuchadnezzar's dream, one image, Daniel's dream, four image, 1 + 3 = 4. That's God's perfect number of 3. Now, I'm going to take you to modern day. I'm going to take you to the book of Revelation in chapter 12. We know that I've been preaching this for 30 years. Revelation chapter 12. I believe that this is where we are prophetically, and some people don't even think we're in the book of Revelation. We are in the book of Revelation. Revelation 12 says, now a great sign appeared in heaven. A woman, that is representation of Israel, clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head was a garland of 12 stars. These 12 stars are the 12 tribes of Israel. Then being with child, that would be Jesus, she cried out in labor and pain to give birth, and another sign appeared. Behold, a great fiery red dragon. That red dragon, yes, it is the devil, but it has a dual purpose, a dual prophetic meaning. The red dragon is China and the devil, or the devil and China. It could be a representation of either one. This dragon had what? 7 heads. 1 plus God's perfect number of 3 is 4 in that image of the beast. Plus 3 brings us to the next phase of the beast, which is 7. So now we know that this beast, this dragon on the earth, which I say is China, which is part of a system, a governmental system that has 7 heads and 10 horns. I'm here to tell you today that the 7 heads are the G7 and the D10 are the Democratic 10. I'm just going to leave that portion because of time, but I want you to know that this great sign in Revelation 12:1 was fulfilled on September 23rd of 2017. It was the exact same year that Donald Trump came on the scene. It was the exact same year that Donald Trump says he did 4 things that no man on earth could ever do. And I agree with that. No other man will ever do it. 1, he declared Israel the nation that God said it was. Number 2, he declared Jerusalem the capital. After he did that, he built the embassy and he moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to the capital of Israel, which he declared was Jerusalem. And finally, and most importantly, was he signed the Abraham Accords. This was the prophecy that men had been looking for thousands of years, to see that there would be a peace treaty signed that would declare that there would be peace in the Middle East, and this peace would involve the Israelis and also the Palestinians. Now, all of a sudden, we know that we've entered into this window of time that Jesus talked about. Listen, please listen to me. I'm only at my 9-minute mark. Listen closely. The disciples came to Jesus in Matthew 24 and they said, tell us, Lord, what will be the sign of thy coming in the end of the age? Jesus goes through the whole chapter of Matthew 24, which you should read it 1,000 times. And right at the end of the chapter, Jesus says, from the time the fig tree puts forth her leaves, that generation shall not pass until they see the coming of the Messiah to the earth. The coming of the Messiah to the earth. Now, what you need to understand is the fig tree is Israel, just like the United States is the eagle. A nation was born in a day in 1947-48, in that block of time. Psalms 90 verse 10 says a generation, 70 years are given unto a man, plus 10 according to his strength, then we shall fly away. Now, this puts us in a specific window of time, my friend. If you take that time frame from 1947-48 and you add that 70 years on it, it will bring you to 2017, exactly in September, when that prophecy was exactly fulfilled of the great sign. Also, in that same year, Donald Trump came in as the president of the United States, and he did the 4 things that I told you that he accomplished. In my opinion, I'm just saying this could have been. This could be the beginning of the final 10-year period. It could have started, please listen to me, it could have started in 2017 according to these Bible verses, and that would put us in a 10-year window. We're looking, according to Matthew 24, for a period at the beginning. Could be a 3-year window, could be a presidential term, whatever we're looking at. But we could call that the beginning of sorrows. So I'm saying if Donald Trump come in and he was appointed by God to accomplish those things, then when the election was stolen or whatever happened with the Dominion computers and whatever happened with that election would have started the final 7 years of that 10-year window. Are you with me? If that started the final 7 years of that 7-year window that's within the 10, we would be looking for something to happen at the 3.5-year mark, according also to the things that were written in Matthew 24, talking about the abomination of desolation, when he steps into the position to declare himself that the whole world should worship him, the whole world should submit to him, and some individual would be coming out. So now I think we're over here in Revelation 13. Please stick with me. This is still short. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Same beast, but now we're looking at 7 heads. 7 heads or kingdoms. These heads represent a kingdom. Okay, so like Germany is a kingdom. United States is a kingdom. Germany is a kingdom. Russia is a kingdom. The United Nations is a kingdom unlike any other. So we have kingdoms that represent the G7 and also the Democratic 10. So it says in Revelation 13:1, then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. I'm looking for something to happen to one of the heads of the 7 heads. There's only 7 heads that we're looking at prophetically. Could something happen within this window of time that was prophesied 3,000 years ago? And could it happen within this window of time? We're saying a 3,000-year window of time has been narrowed down into a 80-year window maximum. 70 years of that's already gone. Now we're looking at a 10-year window, and if Donald Trump came in to usher peace at the beginning, which would have been the beginning of sorrows, and he had the Abraham Accords Treaty signed, then when the other election took place in 2020, would give us that 7-year period that would end in between 2027 and 2028. But what is extremely important is what is happening now. Listen to this. And on his horns 10 crowns, and on his head a blasphemous name. We're still talking about the beast. I'm looking for anything to happen to one of the 7 heads. So it says this, now the beast which I saw, John now, he has a dream, a vision, where he says this, just like Daniel saw it, just like, Nebuchadnezzar saw it. He said, now the beast which I saw was like a leopard, same beast. The United States is over there in Revelation 12:13, talks about the eagle. So there's the eagle. Here's the leopard in Revelation 13:2. His feet were like the feet of a bear. There's your bear. And his mouth was like the mouth of a lion. There's those 4 beasts. And we know the United Nations is a beast unlike any other beast. Then the dragon, the devil, or China, the devil working through China. The dragon gave him his power and his throne and great authority. And I saw one of his heads. Listen, I saw one of his heads, one head. We're looking at the United States right now. One of its heads, the United States is a head, but that kingdom has a king or a person in rulership or leadership of that country. Now listen, and I saw one of his heads, the beast's heads, as if, or as though in the Greek, as if or as though it had been mortally wounded. It does not say, let me be clear on this, it does not say he received a mortally wound where people think he died. It says this, and I saw one of his heads as if, or as though it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. So obviously, if you get a wound as if it was deadly and it wasn't, or as though it was deadly, it appears as it was healed by God, but it wasn't healed by God, or it wasn't healed by the devil, which the devil can heal. But I'm just saying, and all the world marveled and still followed the beast. The beast is still the 7 heads and the 10 horns. One of the heads was wounded. Then, so they worshiped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like him and who is able to make war to him? Here's what I want you to see. I'm closing with this. I have so much more to say, but I've got to keep it short. Listen, right now, July of 2024 could be, possibility, there's a possibility of it being at the 3.5-year mark of that final 7-year window that we are talking about in the book of Revelation. Remember, 70 years plus 10, Psalms 90, verse 10. Israel became a nation in 1947-48. You add the 70 years onto that, brings you to 2017-18. Donald Trump issued in the peace treaty, the beginning of sorrows. The scam took place, the election took place, whatever happened in 2000, whatever you want to believe. I'm just showing you from that time period to July of 2024 is exactly at the 3.5-year mark, where one of the heads of our country, the United States, which is one of the heads of the 7 heads, which is one of the 7 heads of the beast, a attempted assassination took place as if or as though he was mortally wounded. That is all I'm saying. I want you to see this prophetic window. I want you to study it on your own, and don't just swipe it away with one little thing that says, oh, well, because we're here, it can't happen. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. If you're here and this kind of Bible prophecy is happening, you must look at what is happening on the earth. Please listen to this video again and again. Please share it with your friends and family members. Subscribe to my channel. Check me out on Facebook under Pastor Ronald Kozar, just like it is at the bottom of the screen. Check me out on Facebook, Gab, YouTube, all other social medias. And I love you guys. I'll see you next time in Jesus' name.